I'm making a do-it-yourself training knife. Don't try this at home. But I figured out how to use the actual cold steel mini like double edge. I have training knives for impact training and sparring. Now, when you're training, you want something as close to the actual thing as possible, which means if you have a cold steel recon Tanto, or we get a cold steel recon Tanto, a proprietary training knife, and has exactly the same dimensions, same length, thickness of handle, same blade length, everything. So it's like if you're training to fight with a 16-inch stick, you don't use a 3-inch stick to practice fighting with it. It's just simple common sense. If this was a baton, for example, and this would be a very short baton. If I was practicing fighting with a baton that I have, and if the baton was this long, let's say it was 30 inches long, I don't use a stick that's 3 inches long to practice with it because all of the technique and muscle memory doesn't transfer. Okay. Meaning a 16-inch stick, I can hit it from here, so I can practice bang, hitting it, give me triplets, bang, 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 give me triplets. Okay. Like I make triplets, I said that's the point. So okay, so it's like from here, I had to always play this, but basically you want something as close to ring as possible. So if you're training for fighting, you got a 16-inch, let's call it for like self-defense and something like this. That's the tool. You got a 16-inch telescope baton for home defense. You got it at home. It's like I use it as a home defense weapon or something like this. And you're practicing with it. And for some reason, you don't want to use the actual thing. You don't use like a 4-inch stick to practice fighting with a 16-inch stick all day, okay? Because if I'm practicing fighting with a stick this long and I'm doing impact training now, practically muscle memory. Now right here, I'm missing, but with longer stick, I'll be hitting. So you want something as close to original as possible. If you're training knife fighting, stick fighting, what the thing is. Now with stick fighting, a lot of times you can use the actual stick for training fighting with that specific stick. Because this dummy, for example, I could hit it with a stick without breaking it. But if I'm training for sword fighting, for example, if I had a katana at home and I'm practicing sword fighting, and the katana is 1.5 meters long. Now, good luck hitting that with your techniques actually impact with the ball down there. You create deep cuts, lacerations, you cut the head off, whatever. So you couldn't use the actual sword for doing impact training because you destroy the thing that you're using to train. You couldn't hit a heavy bag with an actual katana in training. I'm trained to fight with my katana. Okay? You couldn't actually hit a heavy bag with it and like as hard and fast because you destroy the bag. Okay, so you'd want a training katana like a bokken that has the same length and the same as close to the same characteristics, weight and reach length, everything. So with cold steel, one of the things I like about cold steel as a knife company is a lot of the knives, if you're knife fighting martial arts guys, a lot of the knives are fighting knives. They're made for weapon use, okay, cold steel knives. They also have tool knives. But a lot of the, like a big part of the brand is like making fighting knives, okay, self-defense fighting knives. Buy local also go to self-defense, use weapons all the times. So with cold steel, if I got buy a recon Tanto on Amazon, a lot of times you'll be able to find a recon Tanto training knife on Amazon too. That has the same proportions. I actually have a recon Tanto and a recon Tanto bumper training knife that I can use for sparring, for example. My hopes I would be using an actual knife for sparring with somebody, or even impact training because you back the dummy. So for training, you want something as close to it as possible. Now I don't have a cold steel mini lead neck training knife. Something they could do, be useful would be to have just a stick, like a chopped off boom handle that is as long, and then will be functional. That could work as a training knife for this. I was talking before about I'm not told that video. Do the Bible Church is a gang-stalking church, and one way they told us what called like public religion rituals. Maybe taking off shots and devaluations. It says I'm a Christian told video, which means it's people recruited to target in real life and online with covert target tactics. And people that part of this, they're part of a cult. So anyway, that's the point. since I don't have a training knife for this, I figured out I can customize the actual knife to use it for a training knife by more securely attaching the security sheet to the knife. And what I'm using is a rubber headband and then tying it like this, which means if I wanted to impact train, that could have pulled off the sheet if that was not attached like I did. Okay, meaning if I'm practicing on dummy and I'm doing this, practicing this, if this wasn't tied to the head, it could have slid off. Honestly. So don't try this at home, but this is a way that I figured out that I can use the actual knife for a training knife. And that's just by tying the sheet to the handle. And even with that, actually it's this knife that caused the damage. That dummy, the reason that you see it have all the stuff on it is because I created a puncture when I stabbed a hole in the neck. So even with the sheet on, I mean, even maybe joke, a knife so dangerous you can create puncture with the sheet on. Stuff like this. Okay. Because even with the sheet on, practicing reverse grip stabbing to the neck, I could slid in there, so it got through. And I don't know if it was just this is hard enough the sheet and pointy enough, thin enough to punch through the dummy skin, or if the knife, the sheet separated somewhat and the knife slid in between, like through the vent hole, the drain hole. I'm not sure. So we're going to be doing some very light training here. I'm going to get this on here too. So Leukoplast medical tape. There's another thing I can recommend people to have at home is buy medical tape, surgical tape. It helped me greatly to have that at home. I stepped on a glass bottle, got a shot of glass shot up in my foot, and it punctured like the main tube in the foot, and it was bleeding quite profusely. And I was able to stop it with not this brand, it was another brand, a different type, but like wide surgical tape. I put something on the boot as a compress, and then bound white tape around the foot, several laps tightly, like with good pressure, and I got the blood to stop leaking out there, and until I could get to the hospital, they stitched it. So what we're gonna do with this, that's a good should be part of every person's medical first aid kit as far as I'm concerned. Is wide medical tape. Ultimately, it's the type that doesn't, there's non-absorbent that doesn't, actually doesn't bleed through it. Okay, where it creates like a watertight seal. Okay, like even with the tape like this, I can see this holes in it, so this will bleed through. I reckon. If you want to have a cut and put it in, it will bleed through. Maybe a little bit slow, but still bleed through. Now you could compensate by having more layers. Okay, quite possible. Now, I'm not a doctor, talk to a doctor for making any changes to diagnosis of patient and medication. But I do recommend people to have a first aid kit. The part of all your first aid kit should be wide medical tape, 5 centimeters wide or more. And the good thing about tape is like gloves. If you have gloves, like medical gloves, if you buy large, people with medium and small hands can wear large gloves. But if you buy small, only people with small can wear them, and people medium and large can't wear them. Okay. So with wide medical tape, if you buy narrow medical tape, you can make that wider, but the narrow tape you can make it narrower. So if you want a thin strip, you can just tear it off and make it thin. So let's do some light training. I'm gonna get my exercise mask. check my typeface as I begin and keep an eye on that. It's 14:07. It's a little bit more to get the angle to fit on the screen with this 916 angle, but it can work. I'll be going light today. With my shoes, the protective shoes that I kept by inside spear cap, I can kick harder than that thing in the hard places where I hurt my foot. So I might actually put them on and use that. It takes me some skill to move the camera a bit, so I'm gonna get this upside down. Put the camera on there. Okay, so training. Start with boxing one time. Step in, left jab, level change, overhand right. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you as much as leave one little comment and then hit the like button, get lost. I might even talk to users and hate it in the chat. I'm not. Do some elbow strikes and some cut free kicks. I kick with the steel cups. You can go off the person. You can break the leg, the knee. If you kick in the kneecap, that kicks pretty much anywhere. You can kick to the shin bone, you can kick to the knee, and you can go off the person. I had somebody say 1 in a million chance to that. Yeah, that's why 99 out of 100 of my land. Okay, you math it. 9 out of 100 times thrown that kick. 99 of my land. Okay. It's not 1 in a million, it's 9 out of 100. Like that kick. Toe kick. There's a call, but I like to do 1, 2, 3. 2 straight kicks, followed by one cooking kick. Like you would host it sometimes. So elbows. Elbow off the jab. Elbow strikes, boxing combination with elbow strike together. Elbow strike will also punch with the left there. 1, 2, 3 followed with third elbow strike. Or punch. We're moving forward now. Elbow strike now. I just got a new combo drill. I like this one. Jab, upper elbow strike off the jab. Left punch, elbow strike, 3. Not elbow strike. Looks like this. It goes through something like this. See? I call this punch carry. Punch with the blade. Similarly for punch. The boxing punch. So it's the same board that carries that one shot. That's nice one. And the same rules, physics apply, the force impact. Just rotating and extending outward, upper body rotation. So rather than hitting here, this is the punch. And wait to catch the reverse grip. I'm having the reverse grip like this, thumb at the bottom. And here's no bad 1, 2. And that one. This one. There's a 1, 2. So this second one. 1, 2. Normally, boxing, you impact with the knuckles, with the punch carry. It's the same thing, about 95%. Boxing, do you understand? The one thing and many things. It's using boxing technique for knife handling. So from here, reverse grip, boxing 1, 2, 1, 2. Big 1, 2. Now, the only difference is missing on purpose, aiming to left. So when I connect with my knuckles to the chin, I'll punch it to the side of the head and impact with the blade to the side. Then here, see? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, see? Punch with the blade because of short. I don't try this anymore. So I call it punch cuts. Punch with the blade. Reverse. Hold like this. Well, elbow, hand fist. You know how to throw a hand fist? Get attacked with the reverse grip like this. Hold like this. Back cut is similar to an elbow strike, where it hits around the overbone and it talks with this elbow, all with the knife. From here to here, rather than this. Okay. Similar for elbow. As always, if you want to try this in the gym as training as well, you use the training knife like that. Knife made for training, like rubber, plastic, wood, whatever, for safer training. Almost now, 2, 3. This gap across the forehead. 1. Return with a thrust to the neck. Natural close here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the 3 can also be double. I got different more real 3 more. Rest. Okay.
Okay, now mix it up. 1, 2, 3, to the middle. 1, 2, 3. And if I'm here, also there's other things I can do. Have a wide angle.